Hey guys, I'm Dr. Deuce and welcome back. Now today's video is for you guys who buy, lease or download pre-made and mastered beats. Now if you're planning to record vocals to these beats or instrumentals, there are a few fundamental things which you must take care of. And that's what we'll be covering today. Now, although I'll be demonstrating these principles in Logic Pro X, you can do this in any other DAW. The whole point of this video is to understand the fundamentals so that you can get the very best results. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so you've bought your instrumental and now you need to bring it into your DAW, your digital audio workstation. And it doesn't matter whether you're using Logic Pro, Ableton, Pro Tools, Cubase, Reason, whatever you're using, the principles are the same. I just happen to be using Logic for this demonstration, but the steps you need to follow are pretty much the same. Okay, so what we're going to do in Logic, in order to import audio, if you right click on a track, you see the option to add audio file, and the file I want is this one. Will I ever know? Something I produced a little while back. Okay, so the file has been brought into Logic, into my DAW, and what I've done in fact is converted it from an MP3, which was the original download, to an AIF file in Logic. The key command for this in Logic is Command Option F, and you'll get the option to convert that right here. I've now converted this to a PCM WAV or AIF file, which allows me to actually edit it. If I'd left it as an MP3, I wouldn't be able to go inside the file and do certain destructive edits. I could chop it up, but there are certain things which I wouldn't be able to do. Anyway, that's not really the main thing right now. Okay, cool. So we've got a few bars of build up, then it drops into the actual song, which plays like the chorus section, and then it plays through the rest of the arrangement or structure of the song. Now, I've covered this before, but it's important that I cover it again. Whenever you buy an instrumental or someone sends you an instrumental, make sure your application is running at the same tempo as the instrumental. Now, by default, most, if not all, DAWs default at 120 BPM. Okay, so when you open a new project, let's create a new project right here. Now this is a brand new Logic project, and as you can see, the default tempo is 120 BPM, and that's the same with pretty much every DAW I've come across. So of course, you're going to want to change the tempo of the host program to meet the tempo of your instrumental. You might be lucky and be told what the tempo of the instrumental is, but maybe not. You might not have that information. So now what you've got to do is use one of the analyzer plugins or functions within your DAW. Now in Logic, if you click on the track that your instrumental is on, you go to Audio Effects and down to Metering, BPM Counter, Stereo. Okay, and now we're going to ask Logic to analyze the tempo and give us a result. So let's play that back. Okay, so I'm going to stop that right there. Now, as you can see, there are no real strong transient attacks for Logic to lock onto in order to analyze this song. So there is no point actually playing the track from the intro. And if you've got a track that needs analysis and you've got a progression like this where it's just chords and there's no real solid drum pattern, Logic or whatever DAW you're working in will struggle a bit to try and figure out, well, what the tempo is. What you want to do is make sure that you play it back from where the drop is, from where the drums are actually in, and there's a steady, recognizable rhythm pattern. Now your DAW will be able to lock onto that and work out what the tempo is. So we're just going to move the playhead to about here, and we're going to play back now. Okay, so it's calling for 85 BPM. Let's reset that. I'm just going to click in there and I'm going to give it another pass and let's see if it comes up with 85 again. Okay, I think it's going to be 85. Cool. So let's type in 85 here into our DAW, enter that. And now what should happen is we should be able to loop a section like so. And let's say it's an 8-bar section, and that should be looping perfectly. But look at this. There's a problem. Look at this. Now, there's a gap at the start here. Let's zoom in a bit and let's see what's going on here. I know my intro is definitely 8 bars long. We've set the tempo at 85 BPM. However, there's a gap here. Now, this raises another important step that you must take. What you do, you go back to the very start of the song. Let's zoom in on this. That's pressing Z on the keyboard. And I'm going to use Command right arrow to zoom in. This is Logic key command. Now, as you can see right here, there's this silence. There's a bit of silence at the very beginning, and this is where the first transients begin. Okay, so ideally what you want to do is make sure that you crop everything up to this point. Okay, and I'm actually going to go in onto the file. I'm going to go to track right here, and this is in Logic again, in Logic, and I'm going to zoom right in, and I'm actually going to pull this all the way back to where those first real transients begin, about there, I reckon. Come out from there, and then I'm going to pull this now to bar 1. Okay, now let's see what we've got over here. If I go back to bar 9, let's put the playhead right here, and let's zoom in. Okay, so I've overcooked it a little bit. Let's pull that back to there. Let's try that. There you go, a perfect loop. So you want to look for a couple of things. So make sure that the start point, where are we? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drag this all the way back to here now. So I'm looking at two different things. I'm reducing the amount of gap at the start, and then I'm also I'm looking at these nice big transient attack points here where I know there's a kick. Let's zoom in here, and basically I'm just sliding this so that it starts where I know it should start on bar 9. That's where the kick drum kicks in. So let's hear that again. There you go. And that's how you make sure things are locked in nicely in terms of tempo and start position. Now I'm going to be able to chop this up into sections or chunks. And let's say, for example, I wanted to rearrange the whole production. I can say chop this. I know this is like a chorus section. This is a verse section. Let's move this along to here. Okay. Perfectly seamless. Okay, the transition between this point at the end of the loop and background, perfectly seamless. Now these are some very small, simple steps that you want to take when you're setting things up ahead of your recording session. Make sure things are nice and tight. Okay, so the final and probably most important part of this whole exercise is this. Make sure you create sufficient headroom so that your vocals and other production elements will be able to fit into your final mix without overloading or clipping. Now, probably 90% of the beats and instrumentals that you do actually get online, they are likely to have been mastered or maximized, which means there's very little or zero headroom left for you to add any additional audio sources without clipping. So let's take a look at this. This track has been maximized, and let's have a look at the stereo output. Okay, so as you can see right here, there is no headroom left, no space whatsoever left for you to add any vocals. Okay, so the way to resolve this is real simple. You go to the instrumental track and you reduce the playback level. So I take out 6 decibels of gain. Okay, now when this plays back, you will see, let's play that back. Okay, so I've just created 6 dB of headroom in my stereo bus. Okay, I mean, you could give it a bit more if, for example, you're going to be layering quite a number of vocals or other effects and stuff like that. You could always pull it down a bit more, maybe -8. Okay, and don't forget, once you've added your vocals, you still need to leave a bit of headroom for your engineer to mix and master the track once you've finished your recording. So let's have a look at the bus now. You know, there's still plenty of sound there, there's still plenty of gain there. I wouldn't worry too much about the fact that you've pulled the volume down. This space you're creating right here is going to be the difference between a really well recorded and produced track or a completely distorted and ruined production. Okay, so just to quickly go back over the steps. First of all, when you import your instrumental, if it's an MP3, convert it to a PCM WAV or AIFF file. Secondly, analyze the tempo of the instrumental. Once you've got that analysis, set your host program, your DAW, to the same tempo that you've picked up from the instrumental. And 3, make sure that you adjust the start point of the instrumental so things loop seamlessly. Create an 8-bar or a 4-bar cycle loop and make sure things are moving smoothly without jumps, okay? And don't be afraid to slide things around in order to lock in the attack transients in the right position. And the final step is to reduce the volume of the instrumental track to create headroom for your vocals and additional production elements. Okay, so hopefully that has made sense to you. And like I said, this process is not exclusive to Logic Pro. As always, it's great hearing from you. So do remember to like, share, comment and subscribe. And remember to have your notification button switched on so I can update yourself as well as the rest of the MTTC squad about any new videos and updates that are coming real soon. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. I'll be back real soon. I'm Dr. Deuce. Peace.